What's up, friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level best of two today between Neeb and Time. It's a very important series as well, as if Time manages to win 2-0, he'll give his team Kaisi Gaming a chance to force out the ace match, and if that happens, we'll put that one on here as well. But until that happens, we'll have a cheeky best of two here between two fantastic foreign players. Neeb, of course, playing for Onsite Gaming, and Time for Kaisi Gaming. Time is one of these sleeper overpowered TERRAN players that tends to just win a lot of games, and everyone kind of forgets that he exists for whatever reason. Not sure why that is. He performs very well in almost everything he plays in. Has good win rates in the WTL as well, I believe. Overall, a fantastic player. Neeb, on the other hand, recently started his degree in computer science and the University of... I actually don't know where he is. And even if I knew where his university was, would I really want to dox Neeb like that? It's a bunch of fanboys and fangirls looking for him at his university in computer science classes. No, we wouldn't want to do that to him, of course. That would be extremely rude. Double gas opener coming out of Time here on Stargazers, which is an extremely Protoss favored map, at least according to most Terran players. And you see someone like Beyond not mind it too much, actually play it a fair amount as well. In best of threes even, which is kind of wild to think about. I think in general, Terrans just complain a lot about the maps. And then when they have to play, you know, when push comes to shove, they'll be like, yeah, you know what, I can actually play it, it's fine, it's no big deal. Terrans some of the most, inconsistent people when it comes to their opinion. Exciting stuff. Stargate is on the way here for Neeb, and I like that as a response. Had a wall as well on the top side, which means that Reapers can't really jump in. That's great against double Reaper openers like this, because it means you can keep the first two adepts completely in the natural. I'm not quite sure where the second adept actually is for Neeb, though. A couple of workers will end up falling because of this. That should be one more. There we go. I think that was 2 or maybe 3 workers total. Hellion now is going to come in as well. We'll get the scout on what the first unit from the Stargate is. This is going to be a Phoenix. That's an interesting tell here at the start. Straight off the bat. This is some good control out on this Hellion as well. Could actually get a couple more kills. One more big shot. Not quite. Maybe one more kill on the Reaper. Maybe 2 more kills on the Reaper. Doesn't quite get it. This is a very good start though here for Time. Command Center has finished up. Has killed 8 workers with a mere 3 units. 2 Reapers have gone down. 1 Hellion has gone down on top of that as well. Viking and Cyclone is on the way, so should be fine defensively as well. Adept counterattacks are practically impossible because of the wall on the high ground, and Time took the inside backdoor base, or whatever you want to call it. This is an interesting setup here in this game. Neeb probably wants to throw down a robo facility here. Usually when Protoss players open up with a Phoenix rather than an Oracle, they want to play it very safe, and they want to play a very defensive type of Phoenix Colossus style. This is a fake move out. Is it a fake move out, actually? I was going to say this is a fake move out of Time, but this feels like a real move out. There's a Liberator being built. Another Cyclone as well. And now we'll see whether it's extra barracks or... Oh my god, he's going to get another Cyclone here, as we can see on the production tab. It feels like this dedicated pressure out of Time doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the reason why I say that is because it feels like Time was already ahead, and this is the only way that he can really fall behind right now. He's going to end up killing a couple of these Phoenixes, which is nice, but Neeb doesn't lose any workers, kills a lot of the valuable assets here as well. Oh my god, that Cyclone staying alive is a huge deal. That Stalker almost got a shot off, not quite going to get it. If both of these Cyclones would have stayed alive, Neeb could have potentially just straight up died here. One more Stalker gets warped in. Look at this dance. Look at the dance. The dance between the Cyclone and the Stalker. So far, it seems like the Cyclone is a better dancer. Ooh, Stalker actually is going to end up dying. Cyclone will fall as well. Liberator is here to add a little bit of pain into the mix. I'm not quite sure if that gateway on the high ground is still powered. As we see, why would he lock onto the pylon rather than onto the battery? That actually was a pretty game-changing mistake there out of Time. Now we see a lift immediately here on the Cyclone, but obviously that's not going to end up working out. Super Battery will, well, stop working in a couple of seconds from now. That means there's no more energy whatsoever. Now taking out this pylon actually would be a huge deal, and we see Time going for it. Pro Pool coming in, but it's too late. 3 Phoenixes are out, more Vikings on the way as well. Single Stalker, 2 Phoenix, 1 more lift is available. Couple of probes will end up dying here. So we have a third CC going up behind this. No third base coming out for Neeb quite yet. even if this fails right now for time, even if he doesn't just get the straight up kill or deal a lot of damage, I think he's so far ahead at this point that he's basically won the game. He was floating 900 minerals during this, so not the greatest macro behind this. Throws down 2 refineries, 2 e-bays. Could probably still afford double barracks as well at this point. But he's so far ahead that I don't even think the poor mechanics behind this are really going to end up mattering. And he'll get an important point here on the board for Kaisi Gaming, unless Neeb somehow manages to find a way back into this game. At this point, you'd almost say go into like some type of carrier camp. Because I don't think you can even transition into Forged Twilight at this point. Just continue building Phoenixes, get that +1 going, add a second Stargate, quickly transition into Disruptors after 2 Colossus, and just start pumping carriers like your life depends on it. Yeah, this is the correct call. Second Stargate here, 100% the correct call. Either that or Neeb is listening to what I'm saying in his ear, secretly in a Discord call with me. A one-sided Discord call, which I have no knowledge of. If that is what's happening. Not that it leaks out that Neeb actually did that, you know? Get me in hot water as well. We wouldn't want that. Yeah, Phoenix is not necessarily going to be great at harassing. Like, they get a couple of workers, but won't be super impactful. But are good at kind of keeping the pace of the game a little bit lower. It forces TERRAN to either make a big push or to stay at home. It's very difficult against high Phoenix counts to split armies. Which is a great way to kill someone when you're ahead, is to split armies. Because splitting like if you have 50 supply of army supply, you need to split it in 25-25. Your opponent has 100 army supply, and they can split it in 50-50. That often is better for the aggressor, right? It's also better to fight 50 against 25 twice rather than 100 against 50 once, especially given how static defense often works in these type of situations and how easily you can kind of stop people from moving through chokes, even with a lot less army supply. So this is why I think getting Phoenixes here is a good call, because you force your opponent to just engage in one position, which means that static defenses like batteries, like super batteries, are going to be super impactful. It allows you to pick off reinforcements with Phoenixes as well. This is a very good start of the fight here for Neeb. Picks up one of the tanks as well. There's still 2 more tanks remaining. I think Neeb is maybe slightly too far forward. Neeb seems to disagree though. He's just going to clear this. This is what it feels like. One of those Colossus will need to move back. It's indeed what is happening here. Phoenixes will stay alive. Time throwing his lead straight out of the window here. And the funny thing is that there's still an eco lead for Time at this point. And Neeb can't really transition into ground from here on out. So he can't go straight up for the kill. Neeb will need to take a fort base at this point, throw down a fleet beacon, get into +2, and basically win into a late game, because there's no real kill timing possible. He is throwing down that fort base already, and he's getting a fort on top of that as well. Yeah, this is an ill-advised push here, I think, out of Time. He wants to try it. I think this is a mistake. If the Phoenixes here were in position, this would have been absolute garbage for Time. Oh my god, now he's just gonna... Is he actually gonna win the game after I said this is a mistake? I'm telling you, if the Phoenixes were in position, this would have been a mistake. It's still... Neeb was anticipating something here. He was anticipating a move in towards the main base with 2 medevacs. His Phoenixes were out of position. Now he's going to be paying the price for that. Look at the cash this ball in Neeb's bank here. Time winning the first game. Most likely. Shouldn't speak too soon. I spoke too soon a couple of times already this game. Yeah. Despite Neeb's initial great hold, like one mistake like this, and you're just straight up gonna die. That is how it works. That is what life is all about. GG gets killed as Time wins the game. And gives Kaisi Gaming some hope. Alright, game number 2 here between Kaisi Gaming's Time and Onsite Gaming's Neeb. With an eBay block. This is one of the highest tier build orders that TERRAN players only pull out when it's really necessary. It shows that they care about the tournament. If you ever watch a finals or just a tournament in general, like a semi-finals or quarterfinals, and you don't see an eBay block being used, you know that the TERRAN doesn't really care. He's just there because, you know, someone else forced him to, or he feels obliged to participate. But they don't actually play for the win. Ooh, Neeb. Okay, this is the Neeb response. Core into Nexus off position. This is interesting. This is very interesting even. You see a fast factory going down. This probably was a gas first out of Time. I didn't quite catch it. I do believe it was. So you can do a couple of things here. 4 Hellions into just 3 racks. 2 Hellions into 3 racks. 2 Hellion into 4 mine. 2 Hellion into 2 mine. 2 Hellion into a 1-1-1 push. Oh, here comes a bunker. Wait a second. Wait a second. We're being bamboozled. There's no Reaper. Oh my god, Time is the unluckiest person in the world. You can't be serious. Look at this! He got absolutely blasted there by that Marine. If I was Time right now, I'd be so upset. That was unbelievable. That was actually unbelievable. That SCV tried to go back into the bunker 5 times, and he failed every single time. You could say that's a low tier move out of the SCV. Maybe they should have sent someone smarter, but that is fairly unlucky there for Time, honestly. Oi, 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 oi. What an error from that SCV. Individual failure of that SCV could potentially cost Time the game here, because now he's a Marine across the map. The Hellions aren't quite done yet. This is all garbage for Time. It all feels terrible. Marines are doing a pretty decent job here, by the way, and these cars will clean up this adept as well. Ooh. Marine stays alive. Look at that. eBay needs to get cancelled. I'm not quite sure why he hadn't cancelled it yet. Guess he didn't really need the money. Okay, it's going to be 4 car into 3 racks. This is an actual high tier build, like high tier. Please cancel the eBay. Please cancel. Thank God. If you don't cancel the eBay, you feel like an idiot. And to be fair, it's a little bit idiotic to not cancel it. Oh, it's going into tanks from this. Here come 2 car. Where's the 4 car? Here comes 4 car. Does it get spotted by the pylon? I don't think they got spotted by the pylon. Pylon was not done yet. Units are going to be out of position. Is there a wall on top of the ramp? There's no wall on top of the ramp. There is a stalker. It's not going to be capable of blocking this. Is there a battery in the main base? No, there's not. This game has officially ended here. Ooh, bad control. Out of time. That was a really poor control. Holy crap. They should have killed like 18 workers. No, not 18, but 12, 13 workers. He's only going to get 9. Still very big. Still a huge deal. Still, Time is ahead. But this game should have been over. Right now, Neeb, you know, he might still believe. He still believes in life after love. Or in life after losing 9 workers. Time is up 4 workers, which is a big deal. But the 3rd base is fairly quick for Neeb. Which makes this maybe okay. He also already has Blink on the way. And because his opponent is playing 3 racks tank. With a fairly late starport. I think Neeb, if Neeb makes the correct reads here, which he could because he also built a sentry for hallucination, could actually be in a playable position. I don't think it's possible for him to die against a Marine tank move out pre-medevac. And that means that he can really go ham right now on chrono boosting workers. No need to chrono boost charge either. Like these 4 stalkers will be capable of not necessarily keeping him safe, but giving Time the illusion that Neeb is safe, which is the only thing that really matters. If Time doesn't believe he can move out, then he can't. Or well, he can, but he won't. Time's still up 6 workers. Neeb is not too quick here on worker production, honestly. It's a little bit surprising. Probably will need to take some gases as well and throw down the Templar Archives at some point in the near future. Because I think the only way he's getting out of this conundrum is by playing a Templar Archives and getting Storm eventually. This also is possible. Prism for counterattack. Get 8 zealots in the main base and then defend at home accidentally and win the game. Is a possibility. Time's still ahead. Don't get me wrong, Time is still ahead, but it is possible here that Neeb holds. It is possible that Neeb holds. Just unlikely. That would mean that we go into an ace match here, which would be exciting. We could see some good matches. Maru versus Raynor. That would be one hell of an ace match, no? That actually would be the coolest ace match. Maru Raynor. Could see Solar Raynor. Sometimes they do send out Solar at the ace match. I don't know what the actual ace map is going to be. That would be very high tier. 8 zealots are being warped in at home. There's 4 zealots in this prism. But of course, with the possibility of more being warped in with that prism. Double drops are being sent out. Time is playing this patiently. Time is up 7 workers. But doesn't have a 3rd base yet. And isn't building a 3rd base yet. Time is looking for the stalkers. He's like, hey, where are your stalkers? Why aren't you delaying me with your stalkers? Here comes Neeb. Four zealots and a dream. Warp in of 7 more. Uh-oh. That's a medevac that just got taken out for free. Second medevac extremely low as well. Time in a little bit of trouble here. Still up in workers. Neeb is, funnily enough, kind of all in. Wait, what? Did they switch? They accidentally switched the overlay. Because Neeb right now has a +1 infantry weapons upgrade. I was already wondering how Time had this many workers. It made no sense for me. Look at this. The infantry weapons is at Neeb's thing. And you can see the blue underneath his overlay. I can't believe I'm getting tricked here by the production. This is unbelievable. That means that Time is the one that is extremely all in with this. Which makes a lot more sense all of a sudden. There's no more medevacs with this army. Now they switched. They swapped it around just now. They realized at the same time as I did. Well, I did a bit faster. Okay, Neeb has a lot of cash. Has 54 workers. Oh yeah, I was so confused. I was just looking at these numbers and like they don't add up. But I didn't figure it out until I saw the +1 infantry weapons. Oh, that prism almost died. That prism almost died. If that prism died, that is a huge deal. Because that allows Time to move everything across the map. Like a full-on TERRAN player. Now, there's still no upgrades here whatsoever for Neeb. Time has decent eco as well. So maybe this is doable. Templar Archives on the way. Yeah, I believe in Time still. I'm not saying he's favored currently, but there's not... Yeah. The prism is a headache, though. The prism is a real headache. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at this bad boy. 2 supply, by the way. Ridiculous. But yeah, there's not a lot of stalkers, so this is an issue. That's, oh my god, that's the mother of all Artosis pilots. Look at that. Oh, no, there's another one. It's a semi-Artosis pilot. 2 semi-Artosis pilots. Very cool. Together they create a massive Artosis pilot. How many gateways is that? Like 8? That next is gonna die. Oh, the unburrow on the mines as well. Beautiful stuff there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, this game is completely over right now. Man, Time with a huge win here. Massively important. Going 2-0. Forcing the... Well, it's not over yet, but it is really over though. 52 workers against 50, and this time it really is Time that is ahead. Then we have 2 more barracks coming in as well. Yeah, I mean, he just gathers all of his forces. He could technically even get a Ghost Academy here, because you know there's no big tech coming in soon. Like, you know there's no gas on the 3rd base. And you know that you just killed the main. So it's unlikely that Colossus or Disruptor will come out. Which means that Ghosts are going to be a game changer. I actually would have preferred a Ghost Academy here over a second EBN and Armory. I understand that Time feels very comfortable with this mass medevac style with the quicker upgrades. And that is completely fine. But I think in this situation specifically, if you're just a normal Terran player, you would say a Ghost Academy here, I think, is the correct call. Because it's going to allow you to kill your opponent 100% of the time. Or like 95% of the time. There's never going to be a fort base for your opponent either. Now, we do see Time throwing down the Ghost Academy. And I guess with the amount of gas that he already has, maybe it doesn't really matter. Because he can afford 2-2 as well as Ghost at the same time. And he's also already killing his opponent. So I'm really nitpicking the details here. Super Battery gets activated. We see 2 Immortals go down. Control out of time. Time is, I'm telling you, he is underrated. He's underrated. Forces the H match, which, I mean, we might as well do as well. We'll have to wait and see who that's going to be as Time wins the series 2-0 against Neeb. Alright, friends, here we go with the final map of this clan war between Kaisi Gaming and Onsite Gaming. That's the name of the other team. Forgot it for a second. I saw OSG. There used to be a team called OGS. Very famous team. Old, I can't remember what it stands for, but it meant something. It was OGSMC was in it. Now you have OSG. That is actually pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. It's going to be Time versus Maudo. The reason for that is because the map is preset on Moondance, and I don't think either of the Zerg players feel comfortable playing on Moondance against a Terran player. And as Neeb most likely didn't want to play against, well, what were to be Time again. You don't want to go 0-3. And Kaisi Gaming, well, they do have Spirit and Jishi, but it's obvious to me that Time is has a better shot in this scenario. So we see a double barracks coming out of Maru here. So not going for proxy Reaper, but still going for some Reaper aggression as a start. Or maybe defensive Reapers, right? Is also possible. Just because you open up with 2 barracks doesn't mean that you really... Well, you do want to be aggressive most of the time, but... If you want to be really aggressive, you proxy either both barracks or one of the barracks. Tends to be a better solution. Scout. From both players as well. Huh. Seeing that it's a 1 gas, I wonder if Maru realizes that this was a gas first. I guess it's always gas first when you play 1 gas expansions, or a lot of the time it is. This is going to allow for still a quick factory. I wonder if there's going to be a second Reaper or not. If there's no second Reaper, and it goes straight into a reactor, I'm fearing a little bit here for Time's life, honestly. Are we not? It's going to be a second Reaper. That is a nice call. It's going to allow him to be a little bit stronger here defensively. We have a proxy factory coming out of Maru. Okay, this is a build order. This is a build order and a half, my friends. Oi, 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 what is this? It's going to be a fairly delayed command center here for Maru as well. Because of this, lots of unit production. I wonder if this will be Hellions or tanks or some type of 1-1-1 push. SCV out of time is going to stay alive. Here comes the first jump in with the Reaper. Second Reaper pops out though. Maru in a little bit of trouble. That could have been very dangerous. Second Reaper comes in just in time. First Hellion is already on the way here. And I think this also shows to Time right now that there is a second barracks, because that second Reaper was way too fast. Maru... Wait, what? There's a tech lab going down right now on the barracks. Okay, so Reaper into Hellion, into a tech lab on the barracks, and this will allow Time to get a very fast Cyclone out. Or maybe a very fast tank. It's gonna be a Cyclone. So the starport as well as the factory are producing important units quicker than anything than what Maru is doing. There is a Hellion and 2 Reapers available as well right now for Time, which means that it's unlikely that he's going to die. There's still a window here. Uh-oh. Oh, Time, careful, careful, careful. Uh-oh. Here come the Reapers of Maru. Are going to go in. Once the Cyclone is out, this party is going to end. But until then, it is 5 Reapers against 2 Reapers and a Hellion. SCV pool will need to happen here. 1 Reaper gets taken out. Good control so far out of Maru, though. Not losing anything whatsoever. We have a Banshee on the way as the Cyclone gets a lock-on one of the Reapers, but it will not end up falling. Maru pulling ahead in the supply, but does not have a natural expansion yet. This is a 1 base all-in when it matters the most. What a build order here out of Maru. CC is on the low ground. There's no mules mining yet. I hope that no mules get thrown down in the next 3 seconds. There we go. That is important. That is big. We have a Viking on the way from Maru. The Cyclone is here. We get a lock on one of these Reapers. Good pick up. The control, or good pick up, I should say. 3rd base gets constructed here. 3rd base on the way here for Time. He's playing against a 1 base all in, and yet he's keen on building a 3rd. This is game over. Time loses here. He realizes as well. His head movement looked fairly annoyed there. Banshee is coming in. Is there enough anti-air? Yeah, there's a Cyclone here. There's a Viking on the way. And there's plenty of Marines. As Maru will win this series here for Onsite Gaming, giving them 2 points. While Kaisi Gaming will walk away with a single point. There's 1 tank in the back actually still dealing a lot of damage with his repair. Staying alive a lot longer, but there's... I mean... Yeah, it's impossible. There's just too many units streaming in right now, and a single tank is not going to be good enough. You can even drop on top of it if you really want to. It's possible. Next Banshee is about to finish up, but that's also not really going to matter. Oh, here we go. Cyclone will lock onto that tank. As the Banshee tries to get a kill on the Cyclone. Will not quite get it. Tank is being micro towards 2. And Vikings will land. I mean, now it's completely over. Time will need to tap out in the next 3 seconds. Or he's wasting all of our time. But I think he will do it for supply. Against 56. He looks very upset. GG. Well played. As Maru wins the series for Onsite Gaming. Fantastic stuff.